Planning a wedding and feeling overwhelmed? Simply Eloped makes it easy. With over 1,400 elopements and vow renewals planned and 37 stunning U.S. destinations, our planners have you covered. Our all-inclusive packages connect you with over 700 top-tier vendors, cutting stress, cost, and complexity. Your love story deserves ease. Let us handle the hard stuff. You just show up and say, I do. Start at simplyeloped.com. Rooted in resilience, resisting erasure, in collaboration with 8 Indigenous curators, the Penn Museum's new Native North America Gallery opens Saturday, November 22nd, and everyone's invited. Explore powerful stories of self-determination by Indigenous peoples, despite attempts to erase their identities, cultures, and languages. Join us for all-day festivities with performances, activities for all ages, and interactive galleries. Tickets at penn.museum. Three 1 stars for Philly. Michelin ratings have been immortalized in popular culture as maybe the most sought-after accolade in the restaurant industry worldwide. On Tuesday night at the Kimmel Center, the Michelin Guide bestowed 3 coveted stars to 3 extraordinary restaurants. And they recognize dozens more, including maybe your favorite cheesesteak spot. It's Thursday, November 20th. I'm Trenae Nuri, and the team is with me to talk more about Philly's Michelin restaurants. Joining me for this episode is CityCast executive producer Matt Katz. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Trenae.
And joining us is our producer and foodie, Abby Fritz. Hey, Abby.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
This was a huge week for Philly restaurants. This is the first time inspectors from the Michelin Guide have rated Philadelphia as part of its Northeast Guide. This is a big deal for our restaurant scene.
Yeah, this is a huge deal, and everybody's been so excited since it was announced earlier this year that Michelin was coming to Philly. And Michelin, for people who don't know, it's actually a tire company. Mm-hmm. But basically how they got started was they wanted to give people that were driving or traveling a guide to different cities where they should eat and dine and have a good time in the cities they're visiting. And it kind of became a international standard for travelers to eat at the best places in the world. So they came to Philly and they have a couple different ways of rating restaurants. So the main and most distinctive ratings are their star system. 3 stars is the highest you can get. You can also get 2 or 1 stars. And Philly got a couple of those.
Yeah, so we didn't get any 2 or 3 stars. No restaurants got 2 or 3 stars from Philly, which is okay, because we did have 3 restaurants that got 1 star apiece. This is totally amazing. So let's hear what it sounded like when the 1 star restaurants were announced on stage at the Kimmel Center on Tuesday night.
Third place, Snubbed, over North. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
All right, guys, where of these 3 places have you eaten?
I've had drinks at the Lovers Bar at Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I mean, that place is so magical, that bar. We will note, though, that the bartender there did not get an award for his amazing mixology. They got the award for their cuisine, the whole experience, obviously. When you were at the Lovers Bar at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, did you eat anything, Trenae?
No, I just came there for the vibes and the drinks.
It's an expensive wish list item to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, they only offer a tasting menu. So it's $185 per person. Optional wine pairing is $125 per person. So
extra.
It's extra. Exactly
Yeah.
Right. Serious money. when you're going out to dinner there. Very much worth it. They're actually now expanding. They're in a little row home near Rittenhouse. They're expanding next door. So there will be more space for all the more people who are going to be coming there because of this distinction.
Perfect timing. These are pricey places. And you both actually have experienced Her Place Supper Club.
Separately. We went separately, Abby and I.
Right,
we did not go together.
But we both went for different anniversaries with our partners. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
But this place, the menu changes very frequently.
Very much so. Yeah, it is a really special, unique experience in there. There's an all-female cooking crew led by chef owner Amanda Schulman. They speak to the whole restaurant because there's specific timed seatings, so everybody basically eats at the same time. And they speak to everybody in the restaurant between courses, so you know what you're eating, you know where the food is coming from. And they did it in such a charming, accessible, not annoying way. It was just really interesting to hear their little spiel between courses. The food was perfect. And yeah, like you said, the menu changes constantly. It's a small, intimate spot. In fact, interestingly enough, all 3 of the 1 stars are intimate places where you get really personalized attention, and they're all in old Philadelphia row homes, which really adds to their charm and clearly wooed the inspectors from Michelin. Do you remember anything you ate when you were there, Abby, at Her Place Supper Club?
It was really cool when I went there. The chef was talking to us and she was just like, oh, guys, today we're going to throw in a little scallop ceviche thing. And it ended up being one of my favorite things that I ate at the dinner that night was this just gorgeous. I went in the summer, so it was very bright scallop dish. We also had the dessert was so cute. It was a little sundae. It was a cherry chocolate sundae. And I'm a big foodie. And my partner likes food, but they're not as into maybe trying crazy new things as I am. So I felt the food was great for both of us because it was really approachable and really well done, but so thoughtful. So I loved Her Place.
Portions. That's the first thing I thought when you guys were talking about this. What are the portions like?
They were reasonable. I think we took a little bit home, but not very much. I was not overstuffed rolling out of there.
Oh, yeah. And I think I really liked how they have it set up because it was 6 or 7 courses, but they were all small. So I got to try a lot of different things. But by the end, I had a significant amount of food. And there was a main with a big slab of protein. I believe it was chicken, if I'm remembering correctly. And so I didn't go home hungry, at least at Her Place. But I haven't been to the other 2, so I can't speak to the other 2.
Have any of us been to the 3rd place, Provenance?
Oh, no. But if they want to invite us, we'll be sure to come through.
This is probably the most expensive restaurant in the city right now. Supposedly, the glassware is more expensive than the wine that's actually inside the glass.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
It's a beautiful spot. It's on Head House Square in Old City. And when you're walking by, you can actually peek in and look inside the open kitchen. There's a window there. It's French, Korean fusion. It's only been open about a year. This might be as high dining as Philly gets right now. And the word is it's excellent. And clearly it is if it got this 1 star from Michelin. But unfortunately, have not ever been. We will take your donations, listeners, and the 3 of us can go out there one day.
All right. There is another award that we mentioned, the Bib Gourmand winners, which were a few.
Yeah, we got a great showing in the Bib Gourmand, which is this affordable category. So it's great food, but, not going to break the bank. So we have Dizengoff, El Chingon, Fiorella, Famous 4th Street Deli, Pizzeria Badia, Royal Sushi and Izakaya, Sally, Angelo's, D'Alessandro's, and Del Rossi's.
Heavy on the Italian. 3 of the 10 were cheesesteak places. So, Trenae, you're our resident cheesesteak expert. Thoughts on the 3 cheesesteak places mentioned? It was D'Alessandro's, Angelo's, and Del Rossi's.
Listen, This is controversial.
It is very controversial.
2 of the 3, I would be like, all right, I see that. D'Alessandro's?
Yeah, what? Come on.
Listen, I travel frequently all around the city, and I see a lot of people standing outside waiting for a cheesesteak at D'Alessandro's. And I just want to roll down my window and scream, go across the street
To Chubby's?
and go to Chubby's. I couldn't even believe it that I saw that name.
I'm with you.
The reason why I say that is because I had a cheesesteak there and it just lacked some of the flavor that some of the other cheesesteak restaurants or cheesesteak spots have in the city.
Absolutely.
See, I love a cheesesteak that's on a seated roll, not on a seated roll. I like cheesesteaks that have lots of fried onions, that gooey Cooper Sharp cheese. If you have hot peppers, bring it on. But I would not recommend D'Alessandro's.
I would go back there. Last time I went there was just not a good experience. The balance of the meat, bread, and cheese was way off.
Yeah.
And I was incredibly disappointed. I don't know if it used to be better back in the day. I don't know if the inspectors from Michelin were just taken with the charm of the waiting outside and the whole process of the thing. But yeah, I was disappointed seeing D'Alessandro's there.
But you have to also wait for your cheesesteak at Angelo's too.
That's true.
Very similar to D'Alessandro's. So I'm not sure
That's
about
true.
that. But
Angelo's worth the wait though, right?
hell yeah.
I feel like maybe even someplace like John's Roast Pork could have been in the running.
Right, yeah,
Yes.
I think there's just so many other options. So that's why it's surprising. And it maybe speaks to the fact that, they might know food, but Philadelphians know cheesesteaks.
That's right.
Mm.
I'd like to shout out Sally on there. Great wood-fired pizza place with natural wine. Really lovely spot to go for dinner. And then famous 4th Street Deli.
Yes. You introduced that to me.
Yeah.
We all had lunch there
Yeah.
not too long ago. You can eat 1,000,000 meals off the leftovers from that place. So very, very cool to see famous 4th getting their flowers.
And the actual restaurant is very charming. I do think it is really cool to see. It's like you're walking into a time machine at 4th Street Deli, where you see photos of dignified people with the owners, and you see the vintage cash register. There's something about that too that I think is really cool to highlight in this list. And they're so varied, which is really cool.
I was so excited to see that El Chingon made it on this list. They're a wonderful Mexican spot in South Philly, and they recently expanded to Fishtown. Me and Trenae, we got to go there and check them out. Their aguachiles are to die for. I love going there in the summer for that, but they also are just a really great taco as well, affordable. Whenever I leave there, I am full and happy. And I am picky about my Mexican food because I am from California. So I grew up with a lot of Mexican food options. But I was really surprised that this was the only South American Latin spot on the list.
On any of the lists, right?
I think so. And they didn't even include South Philly barbacoa in any of the lists either, which I was really surprised because Chef Christina Martinez is such an advocate in the city, not just for our restaurant scene, but also for immigrants and migrants. So I want to shout South Philly barbacoa out. Wonderful, wonderful food. Love the lamb, love the tacos. I get it once every 2 weeks. So
I have had their lamb tacos at a food competition that I actually got to judge, I want to say about a year ago. So there also was a list of 21 restaurants that were recommended in this Michelin guide.
So the list was Kalaya, Zahav, Mishmish, Mailu, River Twice, Southwark, Pitramala, Forsythia, Soraya, Veg, Vetri Cucina, Little Water, Ambra, Alada, Hiroki, High Street, Honeysuckle, Laser Wolf, Laurel, Roxanne, Vernick Food and Drink. Whew. I thought it was a solid list. These are a lot of the places that I would tell someone visiting from out of town to check out. Mish Mish is wonderful. The candle in the bathroom, by the way, smells so good that we bought one from them.
Is it like branded theirs, or is it just like a random candle that you like?
It's like their signature scent.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Soraya is one of my favorite restaurants in the city. The space is huge and lovely. Lebanese flavors are just rich and delicious. Great cocktails. Alada it was interesting. Very small, very foodie, like not really accessible for your everyday diners, but excellent, obviously. And then Vernick, just solid every time. Food cooked over a wood-fired oven. You see that place just filled up every night.
And it's also great for lunch if you want to try it for lunch.
Yeah, that's a great hack, Trenae. Honestly, like a lot of these places are really expensive, but if you go for lunch, you can still try food, and maybe it's a little more affordable if they offer lunch. One place that I will go to just for the wine program is Southwark, which is right off of South Street, right near Fabric Row. I put full trust in the person working that night. I forget his name, but thank you to whoever you are. I was like, give me whatever wine you're most excited about. And like the flavors like changed in my mouth. And then he brought out some cheese and like I just got excited. Like Southwark is a wonderful date night spot. Small, intimate, like dark lighting, dark wood. I love it. Super sexy. I'd totally recommend as well.
That's such a cool idea. You said, bring me whatever you're most excited about, whatever wine you're most excited about. What a good idea.
It was fun.
There was also a vegan spot on the list.
Yeah, Pitchermala. And that also got a green star, which is what Michelin gives out for restaurants with top-level sustainability practices.
Mm-hmm. And this is a competitive award because it's not just in Philadelphia, it's in the whole Northeast region that they were considering restaurants for this. And that is like, a reason why maybe places like Friday, Saturday, Sunday didn't get distinctions for like the cocktail awards because they're in competition with people from New York, Boston,
that makes sense.
all around DC.
Right.
So that's really exciting for Pitchermala to have had such stiff competition and come out on top.
Okay, so what does this all mean for Philly's food scene and why now? We'll have that after the break. ArtStar represents local artists and crafters through their retail shop down in Old City and various bazaars and markets throughout the year. Their next event, the Holiday ArtStar Craft Bazaar. It's happening November 22nd and 23rd from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Event Center at Rivers Casino, featuring more than 80 curated craft vendors selling a variety of handcrafted goods that will be perfect for holiday gift giving. There's going to be make and takes, food, drinks, a raffle, and tote giveaways. Make sure you're there at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. They're giving away 75 free totes each day. There is a $3 entry fee from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., but it's free in the last hour from 4 p.m. to 5. Kids under 12 are free all day, and there's free parking on site. Learn more at artstarcraftbazaar.com.
Guess what? CityCast has some news. I'm Sean McPherson, the host of CityCast Twin Cities.
And I'm Jane Sihu, and I'm the host of CityCast Seattle. Hey, if you have a friend in one of our cities, can you text them for us?
Yeah, something, simple like, hey, how's that rash doing? And do you listen to podcasts? Because I have one you're definitely going to like. After that, tell them that CityCast has helped you become more informed, more involved, and more connected to your amazing city.
We're going to help that person you know in Seattle who's been trying to make friends.
And we're also going to do that for that guy you only kind of knew in college who moved back to the Twin Cities after graduation.
Don't we all have that guy?
Yeah, and usually that guy is named Todd.
So did you text them yet?
Jane, let's just wait a minute. We don't want to rush anybody. We'll do a little small talk. How's everything going in Seattle?
Beautiful, beautiful. Fall leaves popping. How about Twin Cities?
Today, beautiful and sunshiny in St. Paul. Okay, Jane, I bet they are done texting by now, and I just want to remind them, hey, you, please tell that friend to subscribe to CityCast Twin Cities or Seattle, wherever you get your podcasts.
Or if you don't want to text them and you're really just on Instagram sending them DMs all the time with like funny videos, send them a DM of our latest videos. You can find us at CityCast Twin Cities or CityCast Seattle on Instagram. Thanks.
Okay, so I feel like we were pretty clear that this Michelin guide is maybe not for Philadelphians, but really for out-of-towners. I mean, because Philly has plenty of guides, and there's plenty of like groups that talk about food. Like we talk about food, Infatuation Philly, the Inquirer's food team, Delicious City Philly, all the Philly and food influencers like Josh Eats Philly, Alicia Miranda, Dave, Jacob, the Philly Food Ladies. So it is kind of interesting, like the timeline that this guide came out, because I mean, it's the holiday season coming up and 2026.
Yeah, I feel like that is the main reason, because actually Michelin doesn't just come rate cities because they want to rate cities. Like, entities pay for Michelin to come to Philadelphia. So the Philadelphia Convention and Visitors Bureau paid an undisclosed amount of money and is in partnership over a number of years with Michelin to come rate. And I think they decided to drop this cash because of 2026. So I think you're spot on there that this is happening because we're going to have a lot of people nationally and internationally coming to Philly. And this will hopefully give some of our restaurants a boost for those travelers coming. Because I mean, the only time I've ever even looked at the Michelin guide was when I was going overseas. So not saying I went to any, but it was helpful in my research.
Matt, so what will this mean for Philly's restaurant scene?
Well, first of all, it means it's going to be pretty impossible to get a reservation at some of these places if you haven't already booked a table. But it's also just great for the city. I mean, hopefully now every year we'll pick up more and more stars. We'll have more and more restaurants that get recognized with stars. Some of the 1 stars might get propelled to 2 stars. And the word is that 1 Michelin star gets you 20% more business, 2 stars, 40% more, and 3 stars, 100% more. So that's just an indication of how people are drawn to restaurants that are recognized by Michelin.
And it also not only helps the business, but it also helps the careers of those who are working in the particular restaurant.
Yeah, absolutely. It is wonderful to put on your resume as someone who works in the industry that you were a busser at a Michelin-rated restaurant, whether or not you got a star or you got recommended. It's just like a great career booster. So that opens up the world for Philadelphia restaurant professionals to be able to catapult their career in one direction or another. I personally do worry a little, though, about Michelin coming to Philly, at least for us locals, because it's like, I think as a younger person who has like a casual food interest, I love food. I try to go out and I'll splurge every once in a while on meals, but I am nervous that, this more business that's coming to these higher end places, those prices are going to rise. It's going to be harder to get reservations. So where do those people turn who are being priced out of those top restaurants? They're going to the middle tier restaurants. They're going to those, and then those are going to increase in price potentially. So I feel like Philly's restaurant scene is so approachable. I have friends that live in like New York or Boston, and they come and I'll take them to a wonderful restaurant and we'll spend $60 each. And they're like, oh my God, this would have cost double that, where I live. And I'm just worried that Philly's BYOB, approachable, great food meant for Philadelphians might change. And I think too, Michelin can attract business and restaurateurs from out of the city to come maybe put a restaurant here and come explicitly because, we're a new Michelin city. Maybe they have a better shot here than opening a restaurant in New York that could get a Michelin star. And then they're going to open restaurants that are like, quote unquote, like the Michelin style, which is like French and Japanese inspired gastronomy, very like highbrow a lot of the times. So I don't know. It just feels like the world is being let in on the Philly foodie scene secrets, and I just hope it doesn't change too much. That's what I'm worried about.
That's a really interesting point, Abby, because we had an episode on Monday talking about, the changes of Baltimore Avenue. And Jen Kinney, freelance writer who wrote this piece in Philly Mag, was basically like hearing, comments and perspectives from people within these neighborhoods over in West Philly saying like, we would like to have more restaurants in our neighborhood, right? But to some degree, what do you lose and what do you gain, right? You could gain like exposure and cool new hot places in your neighborhood. But what do you lose? A poppin' ass restaurant is going to drive up a lot of the price value, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
what does that mean for rent? What does that mean for prices for homes? Does that push out people? And so it's a really interesting conversation to have and kind of break down.
And yet there are still plenty of chefs in town who are disappointed this week because they got snubbed. There were 4 restaurants that were shortlisted by insiders that did not get a star at all. And now all these 4, I should say, did make the guide for recommended spots, but no stars, and several of these chefs seem to be hoping for stars. So Royal Sushi and Izakaya, which is Jesse Ito's hard to get into omakase spot and sushi spot. Vetri Cucina, the small, extraordinary Italian restaurant from Mark Vetri. This is a restaurant that helped usher into Philly into the current restaurant renaissance that we're experiencing right now. Opened back in 1998. Did not get a star. Kalaya, this is a celebrated Thai spot from James Beard award-winning chef Nak Sutaranan. Started as a tiny BYOB in South Philly. Now it's up in Fishtown. People love this place. No star. And finally, Zahav, the Israeli spot in Old City from Mike Solomonov. He had 3 spots on the recommended list, Zahav, Dizengoff, and Laser Wolf, but no stars for his most elevated dining experience at Zahav. So that surprised me. I actually just had the chicken schnitzel from Dizengoff the other day. I love Solomonov's work, and I don't think anyone makes a better hummus in the city, but he did not get any stars this time around.
I just want to say there was not a single restaurant from Steven Starr.
Wow, that is nuts. Not even on the recommended list.
Not even like Park and the French onion soup there. Like, yeah.
And he's got 20 restaurants in the city. I would say not even Tallulah's Garden. I love that place.
Love it. And I love Tallulah's Daily for the accessible, quick food that you can get, the salads. And did you guys know that they can like warm up the raviolis for you and you could just eat it there while you're like sipping coffee? Yeah, I love it.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, not even like a Bib Gourmand for like Tallulah's Garden. Oh my God, they also didn't give Mon anything. I'm so surprised. I just realized. Or Sao, which just opened. Yeah.
Mon was incredible. What do we have? We had that soup.
There was like an oxtail soup that was great. They had wonderful salads.
And I said, we went there for lunch, which we got in pretty quickly, I would say.
Yeah.
So,
and I think the day after we went, they got a James Beard Award. So, I'm very surprised that they weren't highlighted at all on the guide.
The last thing I'll say about the omission, the glaring omission in all of this stuff was the vast majority of Philadelphia. I mean, all of these restaurants were basically in Center City, South Philly, Fishtown.
Absolutely.
But we still appreciate them coming. Thank you, Michelin, and your strange Michelin man that hugged all the award-winning chefs on stage.
I wonder who was in that costume.
I was wondering that.
All right. Thanks, Matt and Abby, for chatting with me about the Michelin stars.
Thanks, guys. I'm so hungry now.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Let's get a couple Michelin restaurants on the Resi.
That's all for us here today on CityCast Philly. If you enjoyed this episode about Philly's Michelin star restaurants, make those reservations if you can. Rate the show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter, Hey Philly, to learn more about what else Philly's talking about. And don't forget, you can support our show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Philly neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye.